My twin sister and I were born at St. John's, the old St. John's on Ashburton and Broadway.
Well, I was born in a city called Lahore in Pakistan.
My ties to St. John's go back to the beginning. I was one of 5 in my house. I had 4 sisters. We grew up on Warburton Avenue, just south of Trevor Park, south of Glenwood Avenue.
My life was wonderful, except my mother would make sure that she kept me in line. I was doted upon by my grandparents. My family took incredibly good care of me.
My father was a letter carrier, and my mom was a housemaker until we all were thrown out of the house, and she came and worked here in St. John's in 5 South. Loved it, loved every minute of it.
When I was 2 years old, my father had gone to England to do his PhD. He was a physician, and my mom and I followed later on.
I respected what my father did. He worked very hard. He worked a night job also. But I think the reason that I didn't do or aspire to what my father did is that he probably said, "You're not going to do this. You can do better."
My parents had brainwashed me that I need to go to medical school. But I initially thought I wanted to be an Air Force pilot. But they persevered, and I got to medical school, and I'm glad that they did that for me.
Even before I got out of law school, I had worked in the summers. One summer I worked in the Corporation Counsel's office in the city of New York, and really got a good experience as to what was going on drafting-wise and how government worked.
My initial interest was to be a surgeon. So when I finished medical school, I started with a professor who was head of the surgical department. But my father felt that with my personality, I would do much better in a different field, and he was very encouraging in getting me into cardiology.
My first job was with the Department of Labor in the solicitor's office, where they were trying cases. I worked there for a very brief period of time, and then went to a rather small law firm in New York City doing commercial litigation, and I stayed doing that until now. I'm still practicing.
My wife was in the same class in the medical school, and I met her there, and as we progressed, well, we became friendly, and then rest is history.
I met my wife, Sue, in the summer that I graduated from college. We had mutual friends. One of them was going off to Vietnam, and there was a party held for him in Yonkers.
I came to America in 1972, and before I came, as I mentioned, I got engaged, and I landed up at St. John's Riverside Hospital. It turned out to be I was in the right place at the right time. There were 2 wonderful elderly cardiologists who encouraged me to bring newer techniques here. One of them was Dr. Westerman, the other one was Dr. Babazad.
Well, I came onto the board after I finished being mayor in Hastings. Joe DeSalvo, who I had met as soon as he moved into Hastings, and I had worked together on a number of things. So Joe said to me afterwards, after I stepped down as mayor, he says, "Well, now you have to have something to do. Have you considered joining the board of St. John's Hospital?" And I said, "I would love to do that."
First and foremost is hard work. And hard work was instilled by people like Dr. Flokus, the attendings at St. John's. All my attending physicians, my professors, most of them came from NYU. They instilled in us that this is a calling. You are a doctor because you got to serve humanity.
As I became chair the second week of March of 2020, at the same time that COVID took over our lives. It was a scary time, and it really took its toll on the staff here in the hospital. There was great pride in what the people did here. We were proud of the staff. I mean, it was just, as I say, there was no playbook and everybody was trying to do their best. It was rewarding because everybody was in it together.
I was able to take the program slowly to the next level. The greatest thrill was when I was able to build a new intensive care unit and the emergency room. And that changed the whole atmosphere of cardiology.
I think a great leader is somebody who tries to recede and allows the people who he or she is working with do their best. You inspire. A great leader doesn't come in and say, you do this. It's, why don't we try this and let's see what we can do.
My suggestion to the young physician is very simple. Take care of your patients like you want your family taken care of. To me, there is nothing else. That is my legacy, is just take care of people like you want your parents taken care of. If you do that, if you have a heart, you're going to follow that. There is nothing else.
In the future, I see that St. John's continuing what it's doing as a community hospital, but being better at it. And being better means not standing still. We have to remain as the bedrock, but also have the sophistication and the wherewithal to provide more sophisticated, more needed care to the people that are here.
How fortunate am I that as a 24-year-old guy who came to Yonkers, of all the places people said, and worked most of his life at St. John's. And here I am being honored. It's an incredible achievement for me.
If anything, the pandemic showed that this institution is crucial to this area, to the river towns, to Yonkers, to southern Westchester. You know, there were periods when people said, you know, are we going to be here tomorrow? And I want there to be many tomorrows. I want St. John's to be here.
I am honored to be the recipient of the Distinguished Physicians Service Award.
I am humbled and honored to be the recipient of this year's Chairman's Award.